What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are back with some more offseason rebuilds, as today we are going to be doing the Washington Wizards offseason rebuild today. Before we get in today's video though, guys, if you could leave it a like and subscribe if you're new around here, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for 22,000 subs. Well, let's talk about the Washington Wizards for a second, because man, this will be an interesting offseason for the Wizards, because obviously you have Bradley Beal's free agency as the Memphis Grizzlies go on to win it all. Now, I will just go ahead and sit here and rant for a second about us small market teams, guys like Beal and Damian Lillard, us small market fans. You know, we see all these other fans that are telling us like, hey, free Beal, free Dame, trade Beal, trade Dame. But you know, you have to understand the value as a small market people, seeing that a player wants to be part of our team, which doesn't happen that often. You know what I mean? Like, Beal has stayed loyal to Washington. Dame has done the same thing. So I get that in that sense. I do. But I also understand where people are coming from, saying, you could get a lot for them, reset or whatever. But I don't know. Regardless, not trying to make this about the Blazers. Let's just talk about the Wizards. So Bradley Beal, we'll have to see what he decides to do this offseason. I think it's up in the air what he will do. Will he decide that he wants to stay in Washington? He is a free agent. I think no matter what, Washington gives him a contract. But I don't know if it'll be like a sign-in trade, or will he want to stay in Washington. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But we just can't, I can't sit here and predict what I think is going to happen. Now, I will say, I think the Wizards should rebuild and trade Beal. Unfortunately, I just think they should, just because he is a free agent. He didn't want to commit long-term when he had the chance to. And now, obviously they made that trade for Porzingis, which kind of confused me. So it made me think they were trying to convince Beal that, hey, we got Porzingis who could help you. But I don't know, man. We'll see what the Wizards decide to do. I think it'll be an interesting offseason for them. And I think no matter what I do today, it's probably going to be wrong, because it's just going to be so tough to tell. But obviously it all starts with the draft lottery. We are projected pick number 10. If we can get lucky in the lottery, that'd be great. One thing I would do if I'm the Wizards, though, if I was a GM, I guess, and I have no GM experience other than playing 2K, obviously, but I would say, hey, Beal, let me know. Do you want to stay here, or you exploring your options and there's a chance you might be gone? Because if that's the case, I'm using this pick and I'm drafting. But if Beal, he's like, hey, man, I want to stay here, then maybe use this 10th pick to get better and trade, use it in a trade, because the 10th pick, this draft isn't considered deep, I don't think. So I don't know. But here comes our pick. Let's see if we get lucky. Let's see if we can get lucky here. Number 10 jumps up to the top 4 right here. Let's go. It's not us. It's going to somebody else. Okay. I just spoke it into existence. Wizards and Spurs jump to the top. Okay. Huge freaking W. Huge W. Huge W. Again, same thing. Actually, if you're in the top 3, I don't think you could trade down, because you have the potential of getting Chet Holmgren, Jabari, Blazers get number 8, Chet Holmgren, Jabari, or Bencaro. So, I mean, you really have to draft now, for sure. Even Jaden Ivey, you have a chance at. We're guaranteed one of those 4 players. That probably won't change my stance on Bradley Beal, especially now that we're in the top 4. I think this it's almost like with the Pelicans. Remember when they traded Zion, or they drafted Zion and then traded Anthony Davis in like the same offseason? I think this is kind of the same thing. You draft, you retool, you collect assets, and you go from there. So, all right, let's see if we can get into the top 3. Can we be a top 3 team in the lottery? I will be happy with 4, though. And we are in the top 3. So just like that, we are guaranteed either Paolo, Jabari, or Bencaro, which is awesome. Number 3 goes to us, and that is fine with me. I will get whoever's left, and I am cool with that. Now, it almost seems like I said, it seems smart to just go ahead and trade Beal, collect those assets, and I will tell you, I might use trade override to trade Beal today, because 2K will not give me equal value. I just don't think they will. Bradley Beal is going to be worth quite a bit. Now, I don't know what exact trade package will look like, and some people may disagree. No, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try to figure out something without using it. But usually 2K, it's really hard to get value for like all-star players. Like an Anthony Davis trade, you're never going to get that to happen in 2K. James Harden trade, you're never going to get that to happen in 2K. It just doesn't work out because the GMs won't do that. But I do need to go rehire Wes Unseld, which I think he's out here somewhere. I'm going to fill this out real quick, and then we might be looking at, like I said, drafting one of those bigs. And then you could keep Beal, but I think today, personally, I'm going to trade him. So we finally actually have the real head coach here, with Wes Unseld being the head coach of the Wizards, obviously. But man, we're feeling good about draft night. We got lucky in the lottery. We are top 3, and we're guaranteed one of those bigs, which is awesome. Which makes it kind of weird for Porzingis, but I think you could maybe try to move on from Porzingis as well. I want to go full rebuild for the Wizards, because there's a difference between Dame and Bradley Beal, I would say, because Bradley Beal really hasn't committed, like come out and say, hey, I want to be a Wizard, I'm staying a Washington Wizard. You know, Dame has literally said it like almost every time he's interviewed. So, and people are annoyed by that, and they're like, hey, look at me, I'm loyal or whatever. But hey, you know, you got to give credit where it's due. You know, a lot of stars would walk out in that situation, but Bradley Beal has not committed, and he's a free agent. So I think Bradley Beal will probably be gone. I will do a sign and trade with him though. Spurs at number 1 take Paulo Banchero, so I'm guaranteed Jabari or Holmgren, which is fine by me, or could take Jaden Ivey as well. But we'll see who falls to me. So Pistons take Jay Holmgren, so I get Jabari Smith Jr., and I am totally okay with that. So Jabari Smith Jr. is my brand new power forward for this Wizards roster. Again, I could take Jaden Ivey, but I think I'm gonna walk with Jabari and feel really freaking good. So just like that, Jabari Smith Jr., welcome to the Washington Wizards, my friend. I am very happy to have you. Again, this may be a situation where like, hey, you know, we show Beal, we're like, hey man, we got, you know, Jabari. Oh wait, what the hell? Beal accepted his player option? He never does that. Wow, that is so weird. How did he accept that? Okay, that doesn't change my stance though. Player option type deal. Bradley Beal opts in, and then okay, that's actually really interesting. That kind of just threw me through a loop because I thought for sure he'd be a free agent. So Beal opts into his deal. I guess maybe after we drafted Jabari, he's like, hey, I want to come back now. I feel like I could compete. Again, it doesn't change my stance. So now Bradley Beal's on a 1-year deal, but he opts in because there's a trade partner out there for him. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to be trading Bradley Beal. Don't know what we're getting in return yet, but I am going to ultimately trade Beal and get something for him to start this rebuild process for the Washington Wizards. So I think I found literally the trade that I want to do in order to get rid of Bradley Beal here. So I'm going to be trading Bradley Beal, KCP, and Vernon Carey Jr. for Colin Sexton and 2 future first-round picks. So I honestly would like this to be like more first-round picks. We also get Kevin Love out of the deal, which don't necessarily want him, to be honest with you, but he's just kind of salary fillers, and we're trading them KCP to get rid of him. And like I said, we're getting 2 first-round picks. We also get Dylan Windler, who's 25 years old. Maybe become something here in Washington. Who knows? But I think the big thing here is getting Colin Sexton. The Cavaliers making that win now move in order to get a guy like Bradley Beal, just kind of help this roster elevate themselves even further, because the Cavaliers have a really good roster and Sexton sat out for the whole year. So now you could have like a Bradley Beal Garland backcourt if you wanted to keep, you know, LeVert in there, your small forward. I would honestly love if Isaac Okoro could be like a throw-in here. I would not mind that, but I doubt they would accept this. And obviously, maybe if we got rid of this, they want Kyle Kuzma, and it's like a swap, but we get Isaac Okoro out of the deal, and I trade them Kyle Kuzma, which I wouldn't mind that necessarily. Okay, let's think about this for a second. So Bradley, this is a big trade. It's a swap pick, which obviously you want unprotected, which I would rather have, but it doesn't really matter for this video in particular, because in real life, I think this trade would look a little different, obviously. But we get Isaac Okoro, Sexton, but then we have to throw Kyle Kuzma. I don't know. This seems like a trade that might, I mean, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope doesn't really mean anything to us, to be honest with you, but he would be a nice addition for Cleveland. And then they get Kyle Kuzma on top of that, which would be a nice addition to their bench. If there was no pick swap, I think I would consider this. And then they're throwing in Osman, but I don't even really want Osman, to be honest with you. I really don't even want Osman all that bad. Okay, let's try this. So it's Bradley Beal, KCP, Kyle Kuzma for, let's throw in that pick again, because I do want 2 first at the very least. Let's see if they would accept this. They want off, yeah, same kind of offer. But you know what? Let's pretend this isn't a pick swap, and I will do this trade. I'm going to go ahead and make that trade, and just like that, we kind of transform the franchise a little bit. Kevin Love, I feel like I could move for something different now, because I'm not going to keep him. So I feel like he was good enough to where you don't have to buy him out. I think you could trade him. So the Rockets, I don't think the Rockets would have any use for him, but I don't know, like the Timberwolves, I guess, maybe could have an interest in a guy like Kevin Love being helpful to them, but we might just be stuck with them, which is not that big of a deal if we are. So ignore the Kevin Love edition, but now you have Sexton and Isaac Okoro, and then you got Rui Hachimura. I mean, you kind of have a young roster here now, with Jabari Smith Jr. being the guy that you just drafted. So it's really nice. And you have Porzingis as well, where you could start him for a year and then probably like trade him at the trade deadline or whatever. So I kind of like it. I kind of like how this team looks now, and I think we've are heading into a different direction here in Washington, and I kind of like what we've done so far. Obviously, it's interesting, but I think it'll work out for us. So Kevin Love will be here for now, and I think you could also maybe have Kevin Love be part of the rotation and then trade him at the trade deadline. Maybe he's really good for you. You have Thomas Bryant as well. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do here, but I think that'll be the offseason. So we move on from Bradley Beal. We trade him to Cleveland. We get Isaac Okoro, Colin Sexton, and 2 firsts out of the deal, which I feel pretty good about. Kevin Love also, maybe flip him to a first. Got Osman out of it. So I thought it was an interesting trade. I think it would look different in real life. Obviously, like I said, in 2K, it's really hard to make it like where it's equal value without trade override, which I know some people hate it when I do that. So regardless, we're going to go ahead and look at this rotation now that it looks a little different here without Bradley Beal. So now it's like this. It's Colin Sexton. It's Isaac Okoro in the backcourt. It's Danny Avdija. It's Jabari Smith Jr., Porzingis, Kevin Love, Gafford, Thomas Bryant, and Rui Hachimura, which is way too many bigs. So I do want to get Corey Kispert in the rotation, which I don't necessarily want to bench Hachimura, though. Maybe we bench Thomas Bryant. I don't know, man. We'll see. I think I will. I think I'm going to put Corey Kispert in the rotation because I do want Corey Kispert to get some run because we have, too many bigs already as it is. The Corey Kispert, Rui Hachimura, and then this is the starting 5, which I like. So proficiency-wise, we are a 3-star defense. Can we go up anywhere? No, but we can be a 3-star perimeter centric and a 3-star 7 seconds. But I guess we'll leave it at defense and we'll see how it goes. So looking at the shot tendencies for the team, now that we've made this big offseason adjustment, I would like Jabari Smith Jr. to become really good for us. I'll boost his shot tendency up. And Colin Sexton, obviously, he has freedom. And Isaac Okoro, same thing. Freedom is here. Danny Avdija, same thing. He's 38 shot tendency. Let's boost that up a little bit. Let's get this man to shoot a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Trade deadline is probably going to be where we stop because I think there's value in potentially trading Porzingis and Kevin Love. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're at the trade deadline, and like I said, I was going to go ahead and trade Kevin Love and hopefully Porzingis as well. Now, I will tell you, when you immediately look at this trade, you're like, why the hell would the Pistons want Kevin Love? And, the only thing I can really say to that is the Pistons are on like a playoff run right now, and I think they could value a guy like Kevin Love potentially being a really nice piece to help them out in like a playoff run. I don't know. It's just a veteran presence for them, and literally all they're getting rid of is a second-round pick. So it's a weird move. I understand. But I think there's value where, Detroit could get some value out of Kevin Love coming off their bench, being a nice leader there. And then he's a free agent and you can decide what to do from there. So I am going to trade Kevin Love for a second-round pick. So I'm not getting a first for him. Then Porzingis, I think, is going to be a little bit tougher to move on from because he's not expiring. He has a player option. So he might be just stuck with them because I'm not really trying to take back money in return, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get rid of him. We have offers like this where I get De'Aaron Fox, which obviously that's not really what I'm looking for. Now in this trade though, this is interesting where the Lakers get Porzingis, which this is a weird move for them, but I guess it would be a center for them that could shoot next to LeBron with Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis could play the 4 still. And they could desperately get rid of Russell Westbrook. We get Taylor Horton-Tucker in return, and then Russell Westbrook's just literally an expiring contract, I guess. And then you got Fultz where we get Isaac, but I don't know why the Magic would want Porzingis. So there's some interesting moves here. Jamal Murray, Warren. CJ McCollum in a second-round pick, but I'm not going to do that either. And I just don't think I can make a single move there. The only move that I think could make a little bit of sense if the Lakers were that desperate is obviously getting Russell Westbrook and then Taylor Horton-Tucker. I would do it if they threw in like the 2027 pick that everybody talks about. If they threw that in, I would do it. Let's see. They want Osman in a second. I get Bryn Forbes. Sure, why not? I'll do it. We get Russell Westbrook back in Washington. Now, probably won't be playing a huge part of the rotation at all. I don't really want him in the rotation, so I'm going to go ahead and move him out, actually. He's just going to be kind of chilling for the year, so let's just pretend he has an injury, I guess you can say. So, Russell Westbrook, apologies. I like you as a player in real life. I know you get a lot of hate, but I don't really think there's any point for you to play for us. So, once we have that figured out, and now okay, I need to fix that again, but you get the point. We basically moved on for Porzingis and Kevin Love at the trade deadline. We suck. But, another offseason might do us good. So one good thing we can take from this year is Jabari Smith Jr. looked really good, averaging 60 points and 1 Rookie of the Year. So that's awesome. Obviously, we were not good, and the Cleveland Cavaliers did make the playoffs, but they got eliminated by the Celtics in the first round. So I would love to have seen Beal and the Cavaliers go on to win something, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. But once again, we have a huge draft lottery because we were the 14th seed. We were absolutely terrible. So do the Thunder actually have our pick? That would be unfortunate if they do. And no, it goes to 6. We actually fell to number 6, which is quite unfortunate, but we still get a good player out of this, no matter what. So I guess we can't be too upset. But regardless, we are still, like I said, in the thick of the rebuild. So we've collected assets, we've collected young players, we've collected draft picks, which is what I wanted to accomplish. We're going to do this last offseason, and we're going to call it good. And then next time we do a Wizards rebuild, we could do something similar to this again. but this time actually like obviously go the full term. But this is just an offseason rebuild. So number 6 on the board, our point guard right now is currently Colin Sexton, which I haven't even shown you guys the player stats, which I will do that in a second. But Scooter Henderson, yeah, Shaden Sharp, which I thought he declared for this draft, or this last, this upcoming draft in real life. Imani Bates, which I've heard his stock has fallen quite a bit. But I think I'd take Scooter Henderson here. I'm going to take Scooter Henderson, and he'll be our brand new point guard. And I like that pick. That's a 79 overall. Shaden Sharp wouldn't have been mad either. But regardless, Scooter Henderson, welcome to Washington. Taylor Horton-Tucker accepts. And then as far as stats are concerned, we had 20 from Sexton, 16 from Jabari, 14 from Isaac Okoro. So not a bad year here in Washington. 34%, 37, and then 31. Russell Westbrook didn't really play for us, but Taylor Horton-Tucker with 12 points. So qualifying offers, Rui Hachimura is a free agent. I think he was unhappy with us, though, because he wasn't a starter, I think. And Thomas Bryant, I don't think I'll be bringing back either. Taylor Horton-Tucker, we just got out of the Kristaps Porzingis trade, so I guess I can grab THT here and be pretty happy about that. I don't think I'll be bringing back... Actually, I can't say for sure I won't bring back Hachimura. I'm not sure it makes sense not to, but as far as Deni Avdija, what did he do? He averaged 11. Okay. So, taking a look at the team as it currently stands now. So, you have Sexton and Scooter Henderson, which I like, which we could probably move Scooter Henderson to 6'5". So, we can maybe move him to shooting guard while Sexton plays point guard. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. They're both going to be in the backcourt regardless. So, Scooter Henderson and Sexton and then Okoro kind of running that, obviously, that like guard trio. So, then Deni Avdija, you have Taylor Horton-Tucker, you have Corey Kispert. You have Jabari Smith Jr., Isaiah Todd, and then you have Daniel Gafford. So I think it does make sense to potentially bring back Hachimura. And so I think I might have renounced Thomas Bryant. And then Hachimura said he's not interested in negotiating with us. Like I said, I knew we kind of upset him. Centers we could get, though. We have Nikola Jokic. We have Valanciunas. We have Zubac. We have Mitchell Robinson. You have Thomas Bryant, which is who I want. But again, not interested. Brandon Clark. You have Mo Bamba. So, I mean, any of these guys would be solid. I guess Mitchell Robinson wouldn't be too bad. Just bring as my center because we kind of need something here. So Mitchell Robinson, center, and Rui Hachimura. Probably just wait for him to accept his restricted, offer, and then we'll be good. So, yeah, that was kind of the offseason rebuild for the Washington Wizards. Now we can kind of see if anything turns around for us and we maybe make the play-in, make the playoffs in this next season, and then we'll be pretty happy. But other than that, I think I've accomplished what I've wanted to accomplish today. I feel like I've put the Wizards in a decent direction. And if this was a longer-term rebuild, I would go till we win a championship. But today, since it's just an off-season one, we'll just see what happens in this, next season. So Scooter Henderson's going to come off the bench for us, but I think there's a good chance that we could definitely make the play-in tournament here, for sure. So at the end of the season, things went a lot better than I expected them to after trading Bradley Beal literally just a year ago. We're the 3rd seed in the East, man. So, I mean, we have to feel pretty happy about that. Sexton averaged 22, Jabari with 21. 15 from Scooter Henderson, 15 from Deni Avdija, and then 13 from Horton-Tucker, 12 from Isaac Okoro, 9 from Daniel Gafford. So, I mean, like I said, it actually went pretty well for us. It would be awesome if we could move. If we could face Cleveland in the second round, that would be so much fun because we have a Bradley. I assume they signed Bradley Beal back. No, they did not. Damn, that sucks. But regardless, game 1 against Orlando, we are up 1-0, 27 from Sexton, 17 and 15 Jabari. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, we're up 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. And now we get to play Cleveland. This is so unfortunate, though, because obviously I traded them Bradley Beal. They decided not to keep him. That would be so much fun. I mean, there's Kuzma, I guess, but where did Bradley Beal go, I wonder? I'm not going to be able to find out now, but game 1, they're up 1-0. We do even it up. We're up 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. And can we beat them in 5? Beat them in 6? Oh, man, we were literally so close to East Conference Finals after all this, bro. Okay, Game 7. This is a big one. We got to win this one. Game 7 on the road in Cleveland. We start out good, but then we allow the Cleveland Cavaliers to take the lead. Please, man. We're up 3-1 in the second round. Take it back. Oh, it's so unfortunate. It was literally there. We could have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's so insane, but Memphis Grizzlies go on to win it all. Regardless, man, this was still a fun video. I feel like there's going to be at least somebody that's going to comment, clicked off as soon as you traded Bradley Beal, clicked off as soon as you traded for trade Porzingis, trade Kevin Love. I don't know. I made a lot of trades that I feel like people are going to disagree with today. And, I encourage you to just have a conversation with me in the comments and why it was a bad trade, because some people just tell me that I'm dumb and I don't know what I'm talking about. And I just love to have a conversation. So thank you guys for watching. Definitely leave a like if you did enjoy. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.